Broncos.
Passing. As a matter of fact, the first touchdown pass is out to Leroy Hurd out into the flat. Makes Richard Johnson miss, number 1. Makes Al Smith miss. Slides up the field. Now Bo Orlando comes in. Now he twists his right knee a little bit on the touchdown, but he comes back all right. The next one, now what's going to happen is you'll see the tight end, point of attack. Joe Morris sets it up by coming towards the line of scrimmage. Excellent job by Galbraith, the tight end, and Mack the back, and then Slaughter outside makes a heck of a block to create a little channel and a little funnel for Joe Morris to get into the end zone.
When we were talking to the Oilers earlier this week, they kept stressing, especially Warren Moon, that we have to be patient because teams aren't going to give us the big plays. How do they rate on that tonight, being patient?
Well, I think they've done a good job being patient, but they've had to be patient by necessity. The Browns are not allowing them to vertically move the ball down the field. When you take a look at this style of defense, you see how they've got everybody deployed back in somewhat of an umbrella zone, not allowing everybody to get in the end zone. Now, as we move along, you see Warren set back. Now, watch, they match up. Everybody's locked up with somebody on the Brown defense. Plus, they have extra people to keep an eye on Warren Moon's eyes. It's the type of a defense that they've done a much better job of doing.
Oilers will get the ball as we start the second half. Pinkett will let this one go out of bounds. And for the second time tonight, the Cleveland Browns have knocked it out of bounds and given Houston the ball at the 35-yard line. Well, we'll keep an eye on the play at the end of the half that Cleveland could have easily scored the field goal and gone up 17-7 and see what kind of a difference that makes.
Joe Gibbs always used to preach first possession of the second half, first possession of the game sets the tempo for that half. This is a very important drive for the Houston Oilers.
Lorenzo White is the running back. Moon with time, throws sideline. Jeffries made the catch and was drilled by Alfred Jackson, the newest of the defensive backs. And here are the halftime stats. The Browns actually out-passing the Oilers and out-rushing them. How about that? 178 to 107 yards against the run and shoot.
Well, the run and shoot, I don't think you can call it that anymore. You can call it the maybe not down the field very far and pop.
And time of possession, the Browns have controlled that too. Lorenzo White broke a tackle, hit from behind, and dragged down by Rob Burnett, who has had an active night. Missed most of the last 2 games with a leg injury. Second-year man out of Syracuse.
Bruce Matthews asked to play the center because they just felt like they needed some more bulk in the middle. And he gets a push, number 74. Gets the push. Michael Dean Perry, you see him push him out, create the hole, finish the block, and allow Low White to pick up extra yardage.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. The ball in Cleveland territory. White again. Close to the first down as he got to the 45-yard line, maybe a half a yard shy. Anthony Pleasant, number 98, led the rush.
Warren Moon last week threw for over 400 yards. Now look at this passing chart. You'll see what the Browns are allowing him to do is they want him to throw the ball right in this area. They're not going to let him go downfield deep. There, you see it's 4 in the out, 2 in the curl, 2 in the curl, 1. He's completing them, but the Browns don't mind if he's completing them in those lower, below 15-yard medium range passes.
Good mark for the Oilers, and they do have the first down inside the Cleveland 45. There are the numbers on Warren tonight, 10 out of 15.
There's a guy, 118 yards. The guy who threw last week for 400 yards. He's got 118 in the first half.
Of course, he can get 250 in the second half in a heartbeat, too.
Not anymore. Not unless you're playing the Atlanta Falcons. Then he could have 800, because they like to blitz everybody.
12:59 to go, third period. Moon hangs in the pocket and throws low for Drew Hill at the 27. covered by Braggs and Newsom.
That time, the Brown defense did not get to Warren Moon. But you'll notice the passes he threw and was completing earlier, he got into a nice rhythm. He set his feet and he fired the ball. Watch what Warren Moon does with the football. He sets, he loads, he loads, he loads. See that little hesitation? That throws off a quarterback's timing completely. And you see the ball go into the ground. The the Browns did on defense exactly what they wanted to do there.
2nd and 10. Screen and knocked down by Michael Dean Perry. The defensive line has not been allowed to be as aggressive this year under the new system, but he still has 6 sacks and is still a tremendous player.
He's a perennial All-Pro. And on 1st and 2nd down, he's responsible for a 2-gap. And what that basically means is that you're responsible for the gap to the right or the left of the man ahead of you. He used to be just a 1-gap player, and he could take it hard. On 3rd down, he still does manage to get a pass rush.
He told us the teams have been killing the Browns on 3rd down. Right now, 3rd and 10. Drew Hill. The mark will be very important, and it is short. He tried to tiptoe his way to the sideline marker, and Jack Pardee.
And it's going to be interesting to see. Well, the fans want him to go on 4th down. And I think Jack has got to go on 4th down. And this is tough for a run-and-shoot team. But is this a completion? Does he come down inbounds? There's his feet. Now, is he inbound? I don't think so. I think that's an incompletion, to be honest with you. Both his heels landed on the yard mark, on the out of bounds. I mean, I think he's out of bounds.
But he got the toes down inbounds before the heels hit.
Hard to say. Hard to say. I think they're going to have to take a look at this one. That one's going to go to review.
If his feet come down flat and the heels and the toes hit at the same time and the heels are out of bounds, it's no catch. But he came down on his toes first.
We had that a couple weeks ago with the toe in. Now, here's a look from the end zone. Remember, it has to be conclusive. He makes the catch. He comes down. There's his toes. The right heel is okay. The left toe comes in. I mean, remember, it's got to be conclusive. From that angle, as we look at it, I'd have to say it's a completion because he did have his toes down. But, you know, it's like Chuck Heberly.
Complete a pass, 4th down.
And the play will stand. But it's still 4th down and less than a yard.
They're both coaches trying to figure out what to do.
Punting team is not on the field for the Oilers.
Kevin Gilbride told us that 3rd and short and 4th and short are his toughest decisions because do you run here? You don't have a tight end. You can't load up. Or do you throw the ball? I think they got to throw the ball. I mean, that's what they do. They're a throwing offense.
4th and a foot. Lorenzo White has the 1st down. Clay Matthews and company make the tackle. The other tough thing about running that way is you do not have a lead blocker. No fullback, no H-back, no nothing.
You got to hope that the linebacker doesn't fill. Warren saying, should I throw it? Why not? Not on this one, though. Good job by the right side. Dave Williams, 73. Mike Munchak, 63. Getting a good push.
Good effort by White to get the 1st down. Comes the reverse to Givens. Reverses his field. There's a flag down on the play. And it looks like Williams, the right tackle, will be called because David Brandon was in the backfield waiting on Givens. That's why Givens had to turn and go the other way, and then the penalty occurred.
Excellent discipline by a defensive end. A lot of times defensive ends want to chase the ball. In this case, he stayed home.
Illegal block, number 73 from the rear. The penalty is behind the line of scrimmage. Therefore, it'll be assessed from the previous spot. 1st down, 20.
Right tackle, David Williams.
And Brandon, number 58, right out here. He's going to come up the field. He's not going to go chasing it. He's going to come up and cause Gibbons to go the other way. See him start in. Now he comes up the field, waits for his friends. And you see the flag come out as Williams had to tackle him to try and stop him.
Brandon, another Plan B acquisition, who has a couple of interceptions this year. That was the first penalty against the Oilers. We're in the third quarter. What a difference it would have been under Jerry Glanville. Moon steps inside the pressure, throws complete to Jeffries. Fumble. Browns have it. Haywood Jeffries coughs up the football, and Eric Turner, the rookie who had an interception a week ago, comes out with it.
Jeffries does an excellent job of getting behind the underneath coverage in the zone, staying in front of the deep coverage. There you see the backs run off. Does a good job of pushing it up the field. Moon splits it perfectly. Jeffries has the ball, doesn't really get a chance to put it away, and then gets hit right on the ball. It's tattooed right on it by Eric Turner, who causes the fumble. Never really gets it put away.
Warren Moon threw that ball a full 2 seconds before Jeffries had completed his pattern. Mack. Childress with yet another tackle has him at the 15.
Saw that Warren Moon wanted to throw the football. Actually didn't want to, but he's been forced to throw it short. Bernie Kosar, on the other hand, he prefers to throw the ball short. These are little swings to the backs out here. But again, notice everything's under 15 yards. They want to stay under 15 yards. We saw the one great play down deep on the right side to Webster Slaughter.
2nd and 9. Bernie can't find anybody and slides and takes a shot anyway as he got to the 25-yard line. They'll spot it where he slid at the 24, but it looks like a first down.
Bernie had run the ball 18 times this year for a total of 28 yards, and his long was 10 yards. But that was a 10-yard run, so Bernie now has a new long rush in his record. As a matter of fact, when I was kidding with him yesterday, he said the only stat he keeps is his rushing stats. It's the only thing he keeps track of.
Well, he certainly won't be overburdened by numbers. But that was a hustling play that got the first down at the 24. Dump it off to Horde on the screen. Collision as Horde got it out near another first down. Al Smith was over there. And Smith makes noise when he gets to the ball carrier.
Ray Childress making tackles on the line of scrimmage. So what you do is you block them, you block them, you block them, then let them go, and you throw a screen away from him. They know where he is. They're aware that he plays that left defensive tackle position. So let's move it to the other side.
Browns talking about what they'll do when the Oilers have the ball back. And Jeffries wants to do something with it when they do get it back. Horde now 8 catches, 100 yards for the Browns. Kosar under pressure, sidearms it to Slaughter. Bo Orlando helps out on the tackle with Dishman, but it's at the Houston 43.
We've been talking about the job of the offensive line of the Houston Oilers. But here, Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator, decides they want to go after Bernie a little bit. They bring Latham from outside. He hangs in a pocket. The offensive line gives Bernie that little area to step up into. Sean Jones gets to him late. Now, Bernie, you can't say he rifled that ball in there. He just sort of threw it out. Slaughter makes another excellent catch.
15 of 23, 211 yards for Bernie Kosar. Little Joe Morris gets a couple near the 41-yard line, stacked up by the middle of the defense.
John Jones,
The numbers between these two quarterbacks are rather interesting. You'd think it would be the other way around when you take a look at the stats.
Well, you have to realize, Kozar, 15 for 23, 211 yards, and Warren Moon, 12 for 19. When you look at these numbers, and really, that picture says 1,000 words. He's disgusted. He's not happy. He's made some throws down the field. His receivers have fumbled it. And in truth, the biggest problem with the Houston Oilers football team offensively has been the receivers putting the ball on the ground.
And the fact that Cleveland has kept the ball away from him. 2nd and 8. Mack. Lathan comes up, puts a shot on him at the 39-yard line.
That's fine, Mike, but the problem is the Browns are now in 3rd and 6 again. And when they're in 3rd and 6, does Bernie drop back and throw a screen? Does he dump the ball off to a back? Do they run a play-action pass? Those are all the options that the defense is faced with. Lathan does a good job of reading the run. Boy, you talk about some major league collisions.
Yes, sir. 6'3", 250, and he can run. Kevin Mack, the single setback on 3rd and 6. Dumps it off to Mack. The Oilers swarm and make the play. And the best play of all was Bo Orlando. Now, Orlando listed at 180, and if he's 180, he's got an anvil in his back pocket. He came up, got him around the ankles, and just waited for help.
1-yard gain on the play. It is 4th down.
Now 4th and 5.
All on the order of 38. Browns and the field goal kicking team in.
Kozar couldn't find anyone downfield. And here's Matt Stover, who has a long field goal of 50 this year. He will try from a shade over 55. And now, with the play clock down to 1 second, the Browns have to use a timeout or they lose another 5 yards. 5:24 to go 3rd period. Back in a moment. Browns, that is Matt Stover, who has never kicked one longer than 50 yards. This would be from 55. His career long came a week ago.
Yeah, and it could be a fake also.
Got a chance. He got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy cow, from 55.
55-yard field goal. Stover.
I wouldn't have believed it.
The Browns said they had to upgrade their kicking game. He is another Plan B guy that they brought in. He's just given them a 10-point lead in the Dome. What would be a 9-game winning streak for the Houston Oilers, and Matt Stover still with a smile all over himself. This is from the goalpost cam, 55 yards out. And as they say, would have been good from 56.
55 and a half. Now there's the goalpost cam that just showed you the last shot, following it very closely. Now remember, if it happened to hit that, it's located back behind the crossbar, so it would have been good anyway.
Pinkett and Coleman are deep, and Coleman driven 3 yards deep in the end zone. Stover really jacked up after that.
There's that little robot that we give you those great shots with. It's our little goalpost cam mounted right on the centerpiece behind the crossbar.
The Browns with another long drive, 5.5 minutes, 49 yards. It took 8 plays. They've just done a sensational job. Everything they wanted to do except for the one mistake near the end of the half. And now it's up to Warren Moon and the Oilers offense to get untracked. Moon is at 12 and a 9, 156 yards. And throws incomplete over the head of Haywood Jeffrey.
I sense frustration. I sense frustration in Warren Moon's part. You can see it. I mean, that's a look of disgust is what it really is. There's a man who says, how much more can I do? What do I have to do? He has got to get himself fired up somehow so that everybody else gets excited, because he is their general. And however he feels, that team's going to feel offensively.
Well, he had him moving the last time, and Jeffries fumbled after making the long grab. 2nd and 10, Houston. Comes the blitz. Moon hangs in the pocket. Lorenzo White. He's drilled at the 25. What a shot. Cedric Figueroa. Of course, Moon coming into the game ranked 6th in the AFC. In order for his huge bonus to kick in, he needs to be ranked in the top 3 of the NFL, and he needs to pick up the game to do that.
Well, he qualified last year, and he got into a real problem because he really felt like the Houston Oilers lied to him. He's a man of principle, and he said Bud Adams, who owns the Oilers, just wasn't being square with him. He felt like he was lied, and I believe that that's bothered Warren Moon all year. We have not seen vintage Warren Moon, even with all the yardage, in this entire year.
3rd and 4. Throws complete. 1st down. At the 44-yard line, Drew Hill. Turner came in and drilled him on the ground, a gain of 19.
These Oiler receivers, they're not real big guys. I mean, you know, Jeffries is 201, but I mean, Drew Hill's 172 pounds. Gibbons is 172. Curtis Duncan is 184. Pat Coleman's 173. And they are just getting absolutely driven into the ground by the defensive backs of the Browns.
Back to the bonus situation for a second. Moon and the Oilers settled on a bonus of $1.53 million and could adjust it later. But it took a long time to do it. Lorenzo White, dodging tacklers, turned a couple of yards lost into a 4-yard gain. Stephen Braggs made the stop. Next Sunday night, the Atlanta Falcons head to the Superdome to take on the Saints, and we hope you'll be with us that game. And then game day, of course, starting at noon Eastern that day, previewing all the possibilities. Primetime back at 7 and updating all the ball games, and then we'll be in another dome, the Falcons and that tremendous New Orleans Saints defense. 2nd and 6 Oilers. Moon is hesitating on nearly every throw. This one goes out to Leonard Harris. He's not been able to throw the ball on time, Joe.
He hasn't been able to throw it on time, and he hasn't been able to push it upfield, and this is why. The way the defense of the... Watch what these people do. They will deploy back. The linebackers will go back. You'll have somebody here, and the front guys are rushing outside to try and keep moving in that little pocket. I mean, this is a true zone defense. We're all going to go back to a certain area, and then we're going to allow you a 4-yard completion and close on it.
That's the only thing that's there. 3rd and 2. Four-man rush. Push out to Jeffries. He's got the 1st down, brought down by Stephen Bragg and Alfred Jackson. And the crowd trying to get into it.
Well, not only that, this is a good group of people because Haywood Jeffries made the catch. He also made the big fumble before. Now he makes that catch. The fans cheer a little bit for him. They try and show him they're behind him and give him a little bit of support. That's classy. That's really, they could have booed him because he fumbled, but no, they cheered him.
You're right about that. We have a minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter. Cleveland hanging on to a 17-7 lead. Moon deep through Hill. Touchdown. You can't throw the ball downfield unless you have time, and he had time.
He had time, and Cardinal sin by that Brown. Watch this. These guys separate. He's going to go down the middle. You have to keep somebody in the hole to stop him from getting the ball down the middle of the field. The Browns split out. They lock up one-on-one. That's a mismatch. Eric Turner's not going to cover Drew Hill. Not this year. Not next year. When Drew Hill is 60, he's not going to cover him. Moon steps up. Look at the middle of the field. Nobody there. You saw it as Warren Moon saw it.
Perfect throw, 40 yards, touchdown. Del Greco for the point after. And the Oilers have cut it to a 3-point lead with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Aaron Moon was just congratulating his offensive line for giving him the time to throw his first touchdown pass in the last 12 quarters and cut the lead to 3. The drive went 80 yards, half of it on the toss to Drew Hill. Morris and Peebles await the kick of Al Del Greco. Morris to the near side, Peebles, number 80 to the far side. Short kick, and Morris takes it at the 12. Oh, Eugene Seal, the monster of the special teams, levels Little Joe. We'll be back in a moment to within 3 with 1:06 to go, third quarter. And Eugene Seal, what a shot he got on Joe Morris.
Every part of your team's got to play well. David Brandon tries to block him. That doesn't work. He tries to grab him. That doesn't work. He's getting his sights on Joe Morris and absolutely levels.
That worked. Oh. Special teams demon 4 years in a row. Mack and Roussan are the backs behind Kozar. Mack got him at the line of scrimmage. Doug Smith, who can stuff the run as well as anybody, was right there.
This is why all week in Cleveland at the practice facility that the Browns have, that Billy Belichick had just this reverberating music and noise playing. So when they came here to play in the House of Pain, his team would be able to communicate with hand signals and not get flustered by not being able to hear one another. And I don't know if he had the volume this loud.
Kozar short hops one for Langhorne. And Eugene Seal leading the cheers. That's about as excited as Jack Pardee gets.
Well, you can see a lot more bounce in his step. The first half, he was standing there wondering what is going on. Now he feels like momentum is starting to come back. It's really the offense in this game got the big play, and that's igniting everybody else.
3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers. Kozar underneath the coverage, and Bubba McDowell almost took Danny Peebles' head off. Holy cow, what a shot.
The Browns talked about hitting the wide receivers of the Oilers. Watch this, left part of your screen. Danny Peebles has the ball, go right off his chest. He looks for it. And Bubba McDowell absolutely lays him out. Both guys are down, helmet to helmet, face to face.
Oh. And both men flat on the carpet. Jeez.
Boy, they named this place the House of Pain. I don't know whether it's a house of pain that you inflict pain in or absorb.
Or receive.
You know, they always tell receivers, listen, you may as well catch the ball because you're going to get hit anyway. I don't think you're going to have to tell Danny Peebles that again. This is hat to hat. Look at that. That's why you do all those neck exercises in the weight room, just so you hopefully are going to come up and be able to stand up.
McDowell, well, it was actually Bo Orlando who was down. And now McDowell, who was also shaken on the play coming up, able to walk off under his own power. I think he's asking, did they catch him? Is it Wednesday? And Danny Peebles still flat on his back. Obviously not unconscious. You can see him blinking his eyes.
what they're basically telling him is, what in a situation like this, the trainer, I've been there, because the trainer will talk to you. He doesn't want you to move a limb.
Right.
He wants you, what he's going to do is he's going to ask him questions. Now, you see how he's blinking his eyes? He'll say to him, if you understand me, blink your eyes, once for yes, twice for no. And then what he'll do, he'll ask him about different parts of his body. Can you feel your hands? There's the shot he takes, and you can see his neck almost get compressed a little bit by the impact of McDowell's helmet. See, he's asking him a question, yes, yes.
And this is a frightening sight because they are bringing out the stretcher.
Hopefully he's got feeling and he's going to be okay, and they're just being very cautious.
Take a look at Danny Peebles' right arm on the replay as he comes down.
He tries to make a play on the ball, and right there.
Boy, he may have dislocated that shoulder. You can see how limp and rag-like that right arm is.
You know, Mike, I think he was like out.
Or he may, that could have been.
You can be physically conscious on the field and have your faculties and be able to hear people, but you're out.
And here is Bubba McDowell coming over to check on Peebles. And they are going to keep him immobilized and get him on that stretcher. And we will certainly bring you a medical update as soon as we've been able to receive it.
We talk about this place being called the House of Pain. And because the Oilers have been a hard-hitting football team, everybody in our business, the business of football, wants to hit hard, but nobody goes out there with the intention of trying to hurt somebody. And I'm sure Bubba McDowell realizes that he hit him just to stop him as an act in football, but he has concerns for him as a person.
Totally clean shot. But you can see the concern not only on the Browns' faces, but on the faces of the Houston Oilers. It was a massive collision. And Peebles, they will strap him on there to make sure he doesn't move. And as I said, we will get you a medical update just as soon as it is available to us. It's a frightening thing to see.
Well, you know, a little thing like you could see him try to move his hand down a little bit, and it looked like he was fighting it a little, which I just hope he's okay.
And one of the toughest things for a football player is to play after something like this. It can't help stay in your mind till you get hit again.
No, it affects everybody on the football field.
Sure.
Not just Bubba McDowell who made the hit, but that entire defensive unit, the entire offensive unit. And you have to say, well, the Browns mentally, how are they going to approach it now defensively? Are they going to go out and say, you hurt one of my guys, I'm going to try and... No, they're going to go out and try and deliver the blows that they have, but you don't go out there with vengeance. You don't go back there and say, I'm going to get even.
And the sellout crowd here in the Astrodome comes to its feet. And a standing ovation for Danny Peebles, the 3-year wide receiver out of North Carolina State. They got him from Tampa Bay on waivers. And just as soon as we know anything else, we'll pass it along to you. Originally the 33rd player selected in the '89 draft. And that's just so if he is hurt, things don't flop around so he doesn't hurt himself even worse.
They want no movement. And you could see what they do is they don't lift him to place him on the stretcher. They just get you up enough to slide the stretcher under so that your spinal column and that whole area that controls all your nerves is as stable as can be under the conditions. You'll even notice the speed of the cart leaving the field. They're not in any hurry. They want to just make sure it's a very smooth, very slow, very deliberate move.
There was a great sign. You could see Danny Peebles moving his feet. And that's what you're looking for in this case, is movement.
There's Coach Belichick making sure.
In case you joined us late, we have 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. We're at the Astrodome in Houston. As you see Ernest Givens coming over, wishing Danny Peebles his best. And the Browns will be facing a 4th and 10 situation. They lead 17-14. And again, another hand for Peebles as he is wheeled toward the locker room, where they will do a medical evaluation as soon as possible.
Just an incredible helmet-to-helmet shot. And coaches preach, tackle with your hat. Tackle with your hat. That's why they have in the weight room. That's why they have the neck machines, because they want to build it up.
Art Modell, the Browns owner, is obviously one of the 61,000 people in this building very concerned about Danny Peebles. We do have a report on Chris Dishman, who has an ankle sprain and doubtful that he'll be able to play anymore tonight. Dishman had an interception early. Again, another very sportsmanlike round of applause from the Oilers fans here. Fourth and 10. Hansen is on to punt to Ernest Givens. Fumbled one earlier. Almost got there. Hansen line drive. Givens lets it hit. And now has to get out of the way. So Hansen did his job, got the kick out of there under pressure, but Givens couldn't get it. And the Browns get the roll. It turns it into a 56-yard punt with 1 second to go in the third period clock. Tomorrow night.
I got a question. Why do you wear the shield? Dick, would you do me a favor? Would you ask Jim that tomorrow? That could be the first question.
Warren Moon takes over at the 21. Last play, third period. Rifles it to Givens. Givens lost the ball. Still loose. And Ernest Givens is hurt.
Givens, shaken up on the play.
Cleveland football.
Fumble recovered by
Alfred Jackson makes the recovery. We'll check out the play when we come back. That's the end of the third quarter. A 3-point lead for the Browns.
Number 29 comes in, levels a forearm, winds up hitting him. I think he might have been out almost before he hit the ground. And Alfred Jackson, who's been with the ball club all of 3 days, makes the recovery. Here, watch the right forearm. Right in the side of the head. I mean, I think he's almost out before he hits the ground. The ball comes loose. Jackson winds up with it.
That's why they selected him. They wanted a physical safety, a kid who could run, and he can.
Boy, 6'1", 207. I mean, he packs an unbelievable wallop. And if you want to know what kind of wallop, take a stroll and ask that man.
Well, we have had 2 scary-looking plays out of the last 3.
And the other thing about Ernest Givens, I mentioned before how upset he was about the fact that they asked him to return punts. He's not a real strong guy physically. I mean, he takes a pounding, but he also wears down, and he's been forced to the sidelines quite a bit during the course of games because he just gets tired. And, you know, when you take a shot like that, I think it's a residual effect of being pounded.
To look better and better. Marty Schottenheimer has had no luck with John Elway at all. The Eagles defense came through again in the win today. The Jets got away with one as New England failed on the final play. The Chargers beat that great Saints defense. The Raiders and Jay Schrader had a big day against the Seahawks. Some of the things that happen in the NFL. Givens now on the sideline. And the Browns with another big break. They have the ball at the Oilers 33. Still 15 minutes to go in the game as we start the fourth quarter. Kosar trying to change the play. and is able to get it off in time to Mack, dragging Fuller with him inside the 30-yard line.
A lot of times when you make an audible, Mike, it isn't necessarily to change to something different in the scheme. What it is, it's to get out of a bad play and give you a better percentage opportunity. Bill Belichick told me earlier today, he said, we want to be either a touchdown ahead or even, or a field goal, within a field goal at the beginning of the third quarter. We want to make this a 15-minute football game. That's exactly where the Browns are.
How about Kevin Mack's longest run of the night, 4 yards, 13 carries, 27 overall. Mack again, weaving his way this time. Ball came out. What's the call?
Ruling on the field is down by contact.
And they rule it down.
Kevin Mack going off the left tackle. Runs into a pileup, runs into Galbraith's back. Now he's on his way to the ground. Is the ball out? Yeah, the ball comes out after he's on the ground. The fans don't like it, but it wouldn't matter. It's not reviewable. The whistle blew, and he's down by contact.
When they say down by contact, it's over. And the Browns want to hurry it up, and the official will come in and stop him. Now, what is the point?
There isn't any.
In this, well, one of the Oilers is down.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got it.
Of course, this could be the same deal that we've seen before. Well, we don't want to take a timeout, so somebody's going to get hurt so we can get a replay.
As long as you're not inside the 2 minutes at the end of the half or the game.
And it's William Fuller who is down.
You could also have a cramp because that defense has been on the field a lot more than they're used to.
Haven't they ever?
Now, he's on the ground. They've got him up. He's on the ground. That's a tough call to make of when the ball comes out. But the fact is the official blew the ball dead on the field. When the whistle blows, you can look at it in instant replay as much as you want. It's not going to matter. Normally, when they do that to your leg, it's a cramp. And I don't. You have to remember that Oiler defense. I mean, here's a football team that, in time of possession, has kept the ball over 32 minutes in every game. So you get used to a defense just not being on the field that much.
Boy, this is the third player we've had flat on his back in about 5 plays, Sean Jones, and you don't like to see it at all. Here's the storyline. Stover with a 55-yard career-long field goal. The number on Kozar, the numbers on Warren Moon improving as we get later into the second half. And Houston with 3 turnovers. That is really the biggest part of this game.
Ernest Gibbons has put the ball on the ground twice, once on a punt return, once on a reception, and Haywood Jeffries has put the ball on the ground.
We are still awaiting any word on Danny Peebles. We have not received any from the locker room. 3rd and 5, Cleveland at the Houston 29. Kozar throws low for Horde, and Lamar Lathan was right there in the coverage. Lathan has improved so much as a pass cover linebacker.
He's improved in every area. Last year, he said that he tried to be too aggressive with people. Now, he reads things a lot better. Went up to Chris Dishman when he was in his string of 7 straight games where he got a turnover and said, "How are you doing?" He says, "I'm studying film. I'm learning more." So Lamar decided he'd start doing it.
Stover, who was hit from 55, will try one from 46. It's a fake. Brian Hansen. And the Oilers don't let them pull it off. Brian Hansen earlier this year did throw a pass, and it went for 11 yards and a touchdown. Not this time.
Well, this time there wasn't anybody out in a pass route. This was a designed run. The Oilers anticipate. Watch the right part of your screen. The Oilers only partially rushed 1 man. Clay Matthews, they try, and instead of turning up the field, a good job by Bubba McDowell. forces him out of bounds.
Tremendous job on special teams not to buy the fake. We'll be back. Bill Belichick told us that he wanted everybody to know that the Cleveland Browns would pull out all stops, take every chance to win ball games. That was one, but it didn't work.
Well, it didn't, but you have to admire it. And Richard Smith, who is the the special teams coach, did an excellent job of preparing his ball club. A lot of times special teams get lulled to sleep because you don't see plays like that very often.
So the Browns can't take advantage of that turnover, and Warren Moon goes back to work. Drew Hill out of bounds at the 38. Let's take a look at the fake field goal one more time. Brian Hansen, the punter, is the holder.
I think this is a designed run all the way. What happens is, watch the guys here. One man comes up, Bubba McDowell just hangs back. As he spins out and comes around, there's no place to go. There's nobody out here in a pass route to throw the football to. Comes up. I think it's a design run all the way. He doesn't even have the ball up looking to throw it. I mean, that was a run all the way, fake. It goes as a sack, if anybody's keeping track.
2nd and 4. Duncan hit right at the yard marker. Turner laid another shot on him. Boy, Turner's scary back there.
I mean, you've got Eric Turner lining up 20 yards deep and running 10 yards before he hits people. He is delivering blows. And, of course, Michael Dean Perry, remember we talked about he has that 2 gap? See how he hesitated for a second, then came around to try and put pressure up the field?
This is only the 3rd game for Turner. Spent the first 8 weeks on IR with a stress fracture in his leg. Just another one of the defensive backs for the Browns that have been hurt all year. It is a first down for the Oilers. 12:23 to go in the game. They're down by 3. Moon seems to have a rhythm right now to midfield, complete to Pat Coleman, who makes his first catch of the night. As opposed to earlier when he would have the happy feet in the pocket, he's dropping and throwing.
What they've turned this to is, this is the vertical game when you run the receivers up the field. What's happening is they're running the horizontal game, which is the way that Kevin Gilbride told us that's the way they had to approach it. You see the receivers in the flats? They will run a vertical receiver, but they're basically working it and turning it into a horizontal passing game.
Coleman out of Mississippi. And now they re-spot the ball across the 50 in Browns territory. Make it 2nd and a yard. Ernest Givens, we're told, is okay. They're just keeping him on the sideline for a couple of plays. We still do not have a report on Danny Peebles. Hope to get one for you very shortly. And now they're going to have to reset the play clock.
It's reset to 25, but I think they're going to try and get him to 16. That's when the ball started rolling around on the field. Funny, the wind in here doesn't seem that stiff. There it is, stuck at 25. Up.
And now it's rolling. 2nd and 1, Houston. Lorenzo White trying to get the first down, and does. Running hard down to the 42-yard line. Brandon was in on the tackle along with Braggs and Jackson and Clay Matthews.
Mike, when you think about where the ball game is with a little over 11 minutes to go, Bernie Kosar at the end of the half made a major faux pas throwing the interception when they would have gotten 3. They tried to fake field goal here right at the beginning, before the last drive. That would have gotten possibly 3. So that's 6 points. That makes the score 23-14, which would have put a lot more pressure on the Oilers.
Would make a difference. 3-man rush. Moon going deep. Touchdown, Duncan. And now one official comes over and says he was stopped short.
other way. You see the defense fall asleep a little bit. They don't see Warren. Now what happens is they fall away. Vince Newsom comes over. No, that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. I mean, the official did his job. See, his knee's on the ground, but the ball has crossed the plane of the goal line. That should be reviewed, and it should be a touchdown.
Newsom trying to make the saving tackle. The knee is down there. What a great shot that is.
The ball is across the line, there's no question.
Even though it was partially screened by the official, you could see from that angle that when the knee went down, the ball was across the goal line. Well, we've seen a couple today that were reviewed and they did not get it right.
The play stands. First down.
No,
here's another one.
What's the sense in having instant replay if you don't use it for its proper usage?
Not unless you can get it right.
I mean, today has not been a good day for officiating in the National Football League. His knee is down. The ball is over the plane. There's no question.
Oh, yeah.
No question. Absolutely no question whatsoever.
Unbelievable. And they mark it back at the 1. First and goal. And Warren Moon wants a timeout. Timeout with 9:56 to go in the game. It's a 3-point lead for the Browns. 17-14 with 9:56 to go. One more time to see whether it was over the goal line or not.
There's Chuck Heberling, the replay official. Now, there's the catch. Watch where his knee hits. His knee hits here, okay? The ball has got to be over it. And even where they spot the ball, watch where the ball is spotted. The ball's spotted on the 1-yard line.
Back to live action, first and goal. Moon on the option to White. What a play by Brandon. Great play by David Brandon. You see the option so seldom in the pros, and he did exactly what you have to do. He stayed with the pitch man.
Everybody's got to be committed. Now, the great thing about goal line situations, if you're an offense, is the quarterback is normally uncovered. But with the run and shoot, defenses now are accounting for the quarterback. So you really can't fool him. Last year, this would have been a touchdown. But now people have seen it more, so they come up with ways to defend it.
Great job by Brandon, and then Clay Matthews cleaned up. Second and goal. Moon throws, Coleman, touchdown.
Great job by Warren Moon. Patience, great. He wanted to go outside. Now he sees Coleman cross the field. And really, that's what you have to do against the zone. You see Coleman, the inside receiver, he just keeps running and winds up with the touchdown.
Big extra point here for Del Greco. 4-point lead. The Houston Oilers, a 65-yard drive to take the lead. He'll call on the goal line. The Houston Oilers managed to get it in and lead 21-17. A year ago, they lost 4 of 5 games that were decided by 6 points or less. So far this year, they've had 5 games, 6 points or less. They've won 3 of them. Lattenberry and Joe Morris deep. Morris from the 4. Nice return by Morris out near the 30-yard line. Getting down to the time to start thinking about wild card possibilities in both the AFC and the NFC. First, the AFC. Kansas City, the Raiders, and the Jets. Above 500. The Raiders with a big win today to go to 7-4. The Jets got over the 500 mark. Miami tomorrow night against Buffalo, trying to keep their hopes alive. Seattle has fallen to 5-6 after losing to the Raiders. Cleveland, of course, trying to go to 5-6, but they need to win tonight in the Dome.
And they need to do more in the second half. They have 48 yards in the second half to Houston's 232.
Screen, Horde. He has had an enormous game. Al Smith chased him down at the 34.
It's not going to be a mystery what the Browns are going to try and do. They're going to run the ball a little bit to keep the Oilers defensive line honest, and then what they're going to do is try and dump the ball out to the backs. We saw how well Bernie Kosar did the first half up against Warren Moon's statistics, but look at the second half. Bernie's only thrown 7 passes, 4 for 7, 42 yards. Warren Moon, 14 for 17, 213 yards and 2 TDs.
Cleveland near the bottom of the league in points scored in the fourth quarter. They only have 34 all year long. Kevin Mack going for the first down. He's got it. Well, we said that Warren Moon would probably come alive in the second half, and boy, has he.
Well, I mean, after I think everybody got disgusted with the fact that the receivers were fumbling. Warren had to pick him up, made the big throw to Drew Hill, and wound up getting his ball club excited again, and they're making some big plays.
And now another injury. This is Kevin Mack, who carried on the last play. We continue to check for any information on Danny Peebles. Nothing is available at this moment. But we will continue to try to get it for you.
Kevin Mack bounced up. He gives you nothing to tackle. I mean, he gets himself turned. There he gets hit in the right shoulder. And it's hard to tell whether it was a knee or a shoulder or want to know where the steel was penetrated or dented. Part of the big play twosome for the Oilers. Lamar Lathan, who's still on the field, and there's Chris Dishman with his pads off, which usually means he's not coming back.
First down, Brown. Kosar hits the tight end Galbraith into Oiler territory at the 49. Al Smith makes the tackle again. 7.5 minutes left. Now you start wondering about the play at the end of the half where they turned it over, did not get the field goal, and the fake field goal where they gave up another shot at 3.
Those were the two things I thought about when they had the cushion. Hey, what's scary now is you're the Browns. You don't want to score too quick.
They turned it over, did not get the field goal, and the fake field goal where they gave up another shot at 3.
Those were the two things I thought about when they had the cushion. Hey, what's scary now is you're the Browns. You don't want to score too quick. I mean, see, that's the problem with this run and shoot and its ability to move the ball down the field so quickly. They score in such short periods of time.
Leroy Horde, the single setback. Galbraith. Well, after dropping his first 2, he showed some good hands.
That's an area that the Cleveland Browns is going to have to upgrade. Galbraith is a good tight end, but they don't really have a threat down the middle of the football field. He's a big guy, a good blocker, and you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Bernie throws that ball sidearm, and unless you have throwing lanes, which shoots the heck out of the theory of having a quarterback 6'5" that has to throw over defensive linemen, you have to have those throwing lanes for him to get the ball up the field.
2nd and 3. Play action, Lathan on the blitz, and Kosar just got rid of it and got tattooed in the process.
Lathan does not hesitate. Number 57 just coming hard. They said they wanted to throw Bernie out of his rhythm. They
almost
sure did.
threw him out of the stadium.
It's been such a vastly improved defensive Houston Oilers football team. Did an excellent job a couple of weeks ago against that highly touted and excellent offensive unit of the Washington Redskins. They really started believing in themselves more after that.
3rd and 3. Horde on the draw. Nothing doing. Childress and Sean Jones were right there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Belichick goes for it here on 4th down as well. He knows if he punts it back, what good's it going to do him? This is, we're talking about surges of lines. Look at how many blue shirts are in the backfield. Lots of penetration, and they make big plays. I think if you're the Browns, you have to go for it here. When you're rebuilding your organization, your defense is getting tired, and you're going to make plays. You got to make them on offense.
Ford, who had had such a great game as a pass receiver, carries for the first time. They'll go for it. 4th and 2. Mack is back in.
Now, Bernie called the timeout because the 25-second clock was down to 2 seconds. That is a well-spent timeout. We talk about different points in the game where a quarterback burns one, middle of the first quarter, middle of the second. This is a good one. It's 4th down, critical time in the game. You keep the drive alive in scoring territory, and you need a touchdown to go ahead.
And he ends up having to call the timeout because the decision-making process on the sideline takes too much of that play clock away.
And it's still a good one.
Sure.
It's still a good one.
Kozar talking to Bill Belichick. The Browns, the best thing that Belichick has done is make them competitive in every game they have been in this year. They could easily be 6 and 4.
He wanted to bring back some self-respect. He wanted to make the fans in Cleveland get excited about this ball game. And I think they should. If you didn't take records and say, oh, well, the guy's only 4 and 6, he's a candidate for Coach of the Year because he didn't have a lot to work with. He's got 26 new faces on this ball club. Done an outstanding job.
4th and 3. Off the hands of Goldberg, intercepted by Bo Orlando, but there is a flag down.
Well, a flag comes in that late, you can almost bet it's something bad against the defense.
And it is. So Bo Orlando gets the big play, but it's negated. Somebody held. And it will be a 1st down.
Holding on the defense. The left linebacker on the tight end. No number. 1st down.
Well, he's got a number now. His number's 54, and there he is in the middle of the screen. You'll see a 54 right there. He's going to lock up on the tight end. He's just not going to let him go. Latham's outside. Smith locks up and tackles him. That's what it was. When he grabbed him around the waist, the flag came in from the left side. If you put your hands out and like hit the guy in the chest, that's okay because you're holding your position. But when you grab around the waist, doesn't do you any good.
And what a time for the 2nd penalty called on the Oilers. Here comes Childress again. Great catch by Horde. Childress has had a monumental game on defense.
And Horde has just had to be Houdini just to catch the pair. Bernie Kosar has not made it easy for Horde to catch anything.
That's right.
Everything's been down around his knees, behind him, all over the place. Childress, though, is everywhere.
Spot the ball just outside the 38. Clock becoming a real factor now. 2nd and 11. It's down to the point that Cleveland probably couldn't afford to go for the field goal now, even if they get in position. Kozar in trouble. Sean Jones. His 7th sack of the year.
And Jack Pardee said he wanted to try and put pressure on Bernie Kosar without committing linebackers. Right side of your screen, number 96 comes up the field. They just rush 4, and he manages to grab Bernie by the shirt tail and bring him down. Well, you know that the Browns are going to have 2 downs to go for it here.
They only have 1 timeout left, so they're probably going to have to. 3rd and 13. Incomplete pass. What a shot.
Boy, they talk about safety tandems in this league.
Oh.
These 2 young guys, Bo Orlando and Bubba McDowell, are making a statement tonight.
What a rip he got on Brennan, who was so sure-handed.
Bernie Kosar puts the ball exactly where you have to in the seam. Brennan doesn't ever really get possession. Orlando just levels it.
And now it is 4th and 13.
The problem with Bill Belichick is he's seen too many of these situations this year.
Complete, Langhorn, and he'll go all the way, touchdown.
Touchdown pass, Langhorn.
What a time for Reggie Langhorn to make his first catch of the night. 4th and 13. Kosar puts it on the numbers, and he goes 40 yards for a touchdown.
They just don't get, they got pressure on Bernie early. That time they gave him time to throw the football. They figured they'd play pass defense instead of trying to rush a lot of people, and he wound up completing it with a big catch after.
Stover with the point after, and it's 24-21 Browns. Man, what a game. We have had everything in this one.
Reggie Langhorn just splits the seam to his family, yes. To his team, they put them ahead 24-21, 3:17 left to go. He's going to come in from up top and just take it. He's going to head right towards TD land, up that way. You see everybody drop back into zones, only 4 people rushing. He just goes down, runs the slant, gets inside. There it is. Good move. Great block to help out. Webster Slaughter comes in and throws a block to spring him. Cuts inside the defense, makes the play. Does a nice job avoiding the shot. Here comes the block. Touchdown.
So the Browns stunned the Oilers defense after it appeared that they had been stopped.
Sean Jones makes a great sack, gets him in the position where they have 4th down.
Boy, Ray Childress has had just an unbelievable night, and we just received wonderful news on Danny Peebles. He is conscious, has feelings in his arms and legs. Great to hear.
That's great, boy. That's great news. Ray Childress playing his heart out. Sean Jones making plays.
Pinkett and Coleman are deep. Pinkett got a seam across midfield. Ernie Logan on special teams made the tackle, a return of 40 yards. Well, this one's had everything.
There are so many different individuals in this game that are making big plays. This is a game, it's an important football game for everybody. Great players make great plays in big games, and we've seen a number of them. Warren Moon, Bernie Kosar, Reggie Langhorn, Webster Slaughter, Chris Nishman. I mean, the list goes on of great individual plays.
And Warren Moon now has 30, count them, 30 300-yard games in his NFL career. The pressure may fall on Al Del Greco again, as it did a week ago. Moon has hit 11 straight. Clobber just as the ball got there. Pinkett made the catch. That is a tough way to get a completion. There is a flag down. Rob Burnett nailed Warren Moon.
Going to be against the Oilers.
Illegal motion, offense, 2 men moving.
I think if you ask Warren Moon, he'd rather say, I'll take the incompletion rather than get hit that way.
Wow. They sandwiched him. Well, they're trying to collapse the pocket around him. They're bringing people in at wide angles to try and keep him in. This one's going to come right at him. As he's looking at us, you see the pressure. Just as he gets the ball up in the air, gets knocked up by Rob Burnett.
So the penalty will bring it back 5 yards into Houston territory at the 48. 1st and 15. Moon has hit 14 out of 17 for 213 yards in this half. The Oilers need a field goal to tie. Moon running for his life. Throws it sideline. Is it intercepted or not? The officials just looking at each other. Nobody's made a call. They have not made a call. I don't understand it. Now, no, incomplete.
Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
Why doesn't somebody come up and make a call and the other just make a call? They're going to look at it anyway. You see Warren scramble. There's the throw. Now, it hits him in the elbow. Does he have possession? That's a touchdown. I mean, that's an interception.
Randy Hilliard.
That is an interception. That's an interception. He has got possession. He does not go out of bounds. That is an interception. That is a great job by a defensive back of keeping presence of mind.
This is the look that tells you he has possession and his feet are still in bounds.
Watch this. Watch this. Now, he now has possession. Watch this. See, look right here.
And
he has possession, and there's the line, and there's his feet. The right foot is down, the left is not. Now the left is down. That is a reception. See right here? See his feet? Right there, he's cradling it. That's a reception. Or an interception, I should say, unfortunately. Now, why do you have instant replay? For stuff like that.
These calls.
Right? To make this game fair, so if something happens, you want to, if you can overturn it, you do.
And if that isn't conclusive, I'm out of here.
I thought the touchdown was conclusive.
Yeah, I did too. But this, you can't miss this one,
After further review, the play stands.
No.
Incomplete pass.
You must be kidding. I tell you what, I just came over to your side. If this is the way instant replay is going to be used, get rid of it. That's ridiculous.
Let's take, I mean, the man, obviously there was a question, did he have his left foot down? That's what we have to look at. Look, there's 2 feet on the ground. He's not bobbling the ball. He's got it right there.
Well, Houston gets another life with 2:48 to go, 2nd and 15. Absolutely incredible. Tip, and this one is intercepted by Newsom. Newsom to midfield, and Jones drags him down from behind. So the Houston Oilers were denied a touchdown on the goal line. Got it anyway. The Browns were denied an interception. Got it anyway.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, you can't convince this man that things even out in this game. Nice job by the defense getting a tip on it. Good job by the line, giving Moon time. The defense, again, they drop all the way back. You've got the center fielder, Turner. They just tip it. Clay Matthews gets a finger on it. Richard Brown, number 52, gets another one on it. Newsom just takes off up the field.
And that is the 4th turnover the Browns have forced tonight.
You see him throw down the middle. Gets tipped by Brown. Gets tipped again, and they wind up with the interception.
And you remember what Bill Belichick told us yesterday? Newsom has saved it this year.
He may have saved him in this game.
Mack. Takes him to the sideline, knock him out of bounds after a gain of about 3. That will save a timeout as Bo Orlando made the tackle.
Vince Newsom on the sideline. Warren Moon he just hasn't been in rhythm the whole game, except for one
period
in the third quarter and early in the 4th. The other thing is Bernie Kosar has got to get his guys in the huddle and say,
holding, number 68 of the offense. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Ed King called for holding. They'll turn it down.
That's a bad decision.
You don't like that one?
No, I don't. I do not like that decision. They just did the Browns a favor by declining it. With Bernie Kosar in this offense in play action and the way their style is, I'll make them go 1st and 20. I'll make them pick up 20 yards.
Although it does save time.
Doesn't matter. They went out of bounds. The clock would still stop. when they assess the penalty.
Good point. Well, at least they don't review it.
It's a blessing.
Draw to Horn. They sealed the outside, but here comes Latham. What a play. He closed down in a heartbeat.
Got great acceleration.
And the Oilers will use a timeout here. That looked like it could go for 10 and a first down. Latham came out of nowhere. This game is so important for the Oilers, even though they have their division virtually wrapped up. They are going for the home field advantage and chasing Buffalo. Denver, of course, with an 8-3 record and a reasonably easy schedule down the stretch. Houston chasing Buffalo. They would love to play them all right here.
And the Buffalo Bills have got the Miami Dolphins in Miami tomorrow night, and Miami is now starting to play some great football. You look at the Oilers' remaining schedule, Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, very physical team. Philadelphia, very physically defense. They get Pittsburgh again. Then they have to go to Cleveland and then to New York. And, I mean, that is not an easy road schedule. That's not an easy schedule, period, but the games on the road are certainly not easy.
Well, this one is far from over. 2:17 to go. We've had everything in this. Wicked hits, big plays, turnovers,
lousy
more controversy than we'd like to see.
Good news, too. Danny Peoples is conscious and moving.
3rd and 8. Blitz, and they got him. They sent everybody. Fuller and Sean Jones, the ends, pinched down and got there.
Smart move. You don't run around with the ball. You don't get it knocked out of your hands. The quarterback's job is to put your team in a position to win, and that is by not making mistakes. That time, Bernie Kosar didn't.
Loss of 10 on the play.
I don't understand this either. Houston's called their last timeout. They're 14 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. And 14 seconds in their style of offense with 2 minutes to go is not going to make a difference. But having one timeout to get together on the sideline with the coach and talk a few things over is
and to get your field goal team on the field, possibly.
Whatever. I don't understand why they didn't make it 1st and 20. And I don't understand why the timeout was taken at this point before the 2-minute warning.
Well,
I don't understand a lot of things tonight, though.
Do you go after the punter? Let's see if we can understand this one.
I think so, because if it's running into, it's only 5 yards and not an automatic first down.
Hansen, Coleman waiting at the 10. And now Clay Matthews is coming up and changing something at the line of scrimmage. Oilers jump. There's a flag down. Coleman picks it up on a bounce at the 3. And he can only get back to the 10. Now we'll check out the penalty with 2:04 to go. 49-yard punt by Hansen. It looks like the Oilers were offside. Let's see if they were drawn.
Well, see, the defensive team can move. The offensive team cannot. What happened, it looked like the Oilers sort of went forward and tried to draw them off.
Bo Orlando just said the same thing. He said, hey, ref, we can move.
That's right.
Of course, you can't move past the line of scrimmage.
If you get back, it's okay. If it is against the Houston Oilers, Cleveland should decline.
Sure, it's back at the 10-yard line.
See, Mike, you much like you played this game.
I did, just not at the level you played it. I mean, I was so far below that. Here's the call.
We have a false start on the offense. The right guard. Yes, right guard. He moved.
Bernie's come out and wants a little bit more of an explanation. Gale says, yeah, he did move. And this is a good call. See, the defense will nudge forward. They can do that. But you see the guard flinch? Well, that's a good call by the official.
Even if the defense moves, the offensive line cannot react to that movement.
Now you might say, well, he's in a 2-point stance, and but it doesn't matter anymore. As a matter of fact, if that was a wide receiver who flinched a little bit, with the new rule they have as far as that stuff goes, it would have been an offside or an illegal procedure penalty as well.
Because it is simulating the snap and trying to draw the other team.
Right.
Some of them we get right.
I'll tell you something. I don't want to
14. Reset the clock to 2-1.
Now they'll reset the clock to the 10 seconds that ran off because that should have been stopped at the moment it happened.
I don't want to be Jerry Seaman tomorrow when the phones and the letters start ringing from different places in the league. I take my phone off the hook.
4th and 22. Will the Oilers come after Hansen now? Here they come, but good protection, and Coleman waits for a fair catch at the 15. A 42-yard punt under pressure. Brian Hansen did his job. Now Warren Moon will have to do his.
The Abear's been nicked up. Steve Walsh is going to probably play at some point, so you wonder if as many people as the Falcons send at these guys, will they be able to hold up through the entire football game?
The Oilers need a field goal to tie. They are 85 yards away from the goal line. Moon pumps, then throws for Drew Hill and threw it over his head.
I think Warren Moon now is when he really has to think patience. He's hit some big ones. Now his mind is starting to think again, I can put the ball down the field. He's got to come back and be the nickel dimer that he doesn't want to do. He's got to go into his little coin collecting act and say, I'll take 5 here, I'll dump the ball off to Lorenzo or Alan Pinkett, or take the ball out on the sidelines to the wide guys.
A little numismatic analysis. No timeouts for the Oilers, by the way. They'll get one at 15-minute warning. Flag is down. Browns may have jumped. And Gibbons was open, and he missed it. Turner was coming like a freight train. And pulled up at the last minute, or he would have leveled Gibbons.
I mean, you don't feel like Ernest did anything wrong.
No, sir.
Offside. Defense. Number 90. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So it will be 2nd and 5. We have reached the 2-minute warning. Actually 1:58. We'll be back to the House of Pain in a moment. Here we go again. 1:58 left. Cleveland over Houston by 3. And you would think with the run and shoot, a 2-minute drill would be exactly what you asked for. Not. 1 field goal in 7 possessions, no touchdown. Not.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Are we at Mike's World? Is that where we are?
World.
Oh, we're at Mike's World now.
That's right. Oh, what a game this has been.
You know, the run and shoot is supposedly like a 60-minute, 2-minute drill. But it's not. Not everybody. It's a nail biter for everybody.
No timeouts for the Oilers. And ruled out of bounds at the 30-yard line, intended for Tony Jones.
He's not getting up protesting, so he looks like it might be a bobble ball or something like that.
3rd and 5.
Right-hand part of your screen. Ball, yep, it does go right through. It wasn't bobbled, it fell right through. Nice call by the official. Warren Camp, I mean, he's had so many on the ground tonight. The receivers have just not helped him out at all.
Missed his last 4 after 11 straight completions. Has time, throws short. Complete, caught by Givens. And it looks like where they'll mark it, it will be a first down. No timeouts left. clock running, 1:39 to go.
That's what he's going to have to do. The Browns on defense are going to have to hit him and try and force a turnover.
Drew Hill got all the yards he could and got out of bounds.
When you're a quarterback in a 2-minute drill, you have to take what the defense gives you. And if the defense is giving you the middle of the field short, you take it. If the defense is giving you this area or over here, you have to constantly do it. You have to stay away from the deep part of the field. And that's exactly what the Browns are giving him, and Warren is taking it.
2nd and a yard. Great catch by Jeffries at the 43. Now they'll mark it closer to the 41. Clock running, a gain of 22. And Al Del Greco, the hero a week ago in overtime, has missed one and would like to redeem himself again tonight.
Looks like they're going to take a look-see. The only reason he'll be stopped on the field.
It's a frightening thought tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to believe my eyes. I don't know what's going to happen. Hard to tell. We'll take a look at it. There's the throw. Jeffries going down for the ball. I mean, does he have it? Looks like a catch from that angle. Nothing there to say that it wasn't a catch.
We say hesitantly. First down from the 41. No timeouts, but plenty of time left. Moon throws to Hill at the 30. Another first down.
Do you know that the clock did not start until Warren Moon was 3 steps back on that particular play?
Well, where are we?
Now the clock has stopped again. And it should be because he's out of bounds.
Del Greco warming up.
Jack Pardee got to be wondering if he solved his kicker problem. Last week he felt like he did.
Blitz. Moon gets rid of it to Hill. Another first down. To the 19-yard line. Jackson ran him out of bounds. Great job by Warren Moon.
Absolutely incredible. That gives you an idea of how strong his arm is. He threw that falling backwards. Just falling backwards and got it out to Drew Hill. I mean, he is absolutely, he just muscled that thing out. Of course, Alfred Jackson hasn't been around but a day or two, so he's not going to want to get burned deep.
9 catches, 131 yards for Drew Hill. Another completion. Jones doesn't get out of bounds. He stops at the 15 with 48 seconds on the clock. And one of the Oilers is hurt.
Now this creates a situation, Mike. Basically, if you're hurt within 2 minutes, they're going to should run 10 seconds off the clock because they can't charge a timeout.
Even if it's a legitimate injury.
Even if it's a legitimate
And this is
problem.
Don Maggs, the left tackle, who has had a very bad elbow. He has it heavily wrapped, and that appears to be what has been re-injured.
Warren Moon just continuing. The Browns want to drop back. You see the corner go out of the picture. Now, Tony Jones uses poor judgment here. He's on the 15. He looks around. He's still on the 15. Now, just fall out. Don't go in there. Don't go in there, Tony.
It cost him about 3 seconds, and now it's going to cost them another 10 that they run off the clock.
It's more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's more than 3. But the dancing, he'd have been out at around 50. Maggs is going to have to come out of the game, even if he can come back in.
Right.
He'll have to come out for at least one play.
Del Greco just thrilled to be in Houston. He said he loves the players on the team and the chance to be back in this business with a shot at winning a title. This drive started at the 16. Warren Moon has been masterful. Now no time coming off the clock. 45 seconds left.
Now they moved it down. Now it's down 35
Okay, now it's 35.
seconds.
And it's running. 2nd and 4. And now the officials are going to stop it.
And the rule is if a player is injured and you don't have any
You're running on
timeout.
the line.
And now they're telling the clock operator not to run the clock until the official gives him the wind signal. That one.
But he's got it reset to 45, and that's wrong. That is absolutely. Now they're going to run it down to 10 seconds. Now it should have been. Now it's down to 35. Now they give him the clock. Now
Right.
he got it right.
Moon throws underneath. Drew Hill. To the 2. Did he get out of bounds? No. Clock running, no timeout. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage and throw it in the ground.
You have to. They'll have time for at least 1 or 2 more plays. No hurry, no problem. There they go.
Stops it with 12. Oh, jeez.
My heart's beating. Kevin Gilbride just turned to Jack Hardy. He said, we've got 1 play. Warren Moon doing a good job. Drew Hill sees everything upfield, figures he can get to the corner. Nice play by the defensive back just to get a fingernail on him.
Harlan Barnett kept him out of the end zone.
Run the ball. They're not going to get another shot at it. If Warren has the ball in his hands and they try some type of a pass, they'll at least have an opportunity to run 1 more play or kick the field goal.
If he throws a pass and it's complete, he has a 400-yard gain. Touchdown, Drew Hill. Del Greco for the point after. It's good. And the 5th 400-yard passing day in Warren Moon's brilliant career. And how about Drew Hill? 11 catches, 144 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Warren Moon with a great nickel and dime job down the field. He took what the defense gave him. Got it down where he wanted it. Managed it to find the inside receiver. When you're down that close, you can't give off too much in here. Watch Drew Hill. All he's going to do is just go right in that area, and you're going to get the TD out of it. He just comes right inside, right there. They try and stay with him. They can't. Everybody just runs them with quick outs.
And the first time this year that the Houston Oilers have scored a touchdown in the 2-minute drill. And they needed it.
It couldn't have come at a better time. That was a absolutely well-executed drive. Jack Hardy being hugged by Sean Jones. Bud Adams doing his version of the Benson Boogie.
Needs a little work. And Rob Burnett on the sideline for the Cleveland defense. He's had a very active game. 9 seconds left.
The last 3 weeks. The loss to Cincinnati, the loss to Philadelphia, and now what looks like a tough situation and a possible loss to the Houston Oilers, all in the last minutes of the game.
But Bill Belichick is a winner, as is Warren Moon, and Belichick will bring the Cleveland Browns back.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you can't convince him that it's a great feeling right now that he's done a great job.
But he has. Del Greco to kick off with 9 seconds left. Lattenberry and Morris are deep. It's the squib kick, and they'll get it out of bounds. Scott Galbraith, the tight end. That only took 2 seconds. Can throw it 66 yards in the air.
Schrader. Cunningham. Elway.
Yep.
Short list, huh?
Theismann.
Yeah. Not on a good day.
Kozar hit from behind. The ball fumbled. The Browns still have it. And that's the ball game. The Houston Oilers virtually wrap up the division title tonight. Stay with the Buffalo Bills in the chase for the home field advantage and 2 outstanding quarterbacks. Talk about it in the center of the field. Heck of a game, huh, partner?
Great football game, Michael. I mean, the Browns did